To the Vigyan Bhavan, where Mr. Arun Jaitley, the finance minister, is speaking. Let's listen in.
Also, and hopefully in other large towns of India, there would be an effort to create, in the months and years to come, the adequate infrastructure for that purpose. India also needs independent and credible set of arbitrators. And therefore, amongst the independent and credible set of arbitrators, we have a pool of a large number of distinguished talent with a lot of judicial experience. But we also need to nourish talent from fields like the academia, which world over has also made great contribution as far as arbitrations are concerned. We need arbitrations with the speed. We need arbitrations with modest costs. And of course, as the president of the ICC said just now, that we need to recognize the principle that arbitration, being a domestic dispute redressal forum chosen by the contracting parties, contracts to be respected and therefore judicial intervention to be either minimal or virtually non-existent. While agreeing with the president of the ICC on this count, let me clarify it in relation to another question that he raised. The object of extending arbitrations beyond a particular period, with the consent of the parties and the arbitral tribunal passing orders, is already there under the Indian law. But if it gets unduly delayed beyond the prescribed time, the object of putting a provision for a court's permission is not really intended to promote judicial intervention in arbitration, but on the contrary, to ensure expeditious disposal of the arbitrations, that people are dissuaded from facing an embarrassing moment of repeatedly going before courts and asking for extensions to complete the arbitrations itself. You would notice that the amended Act has a separate chapter as far as fast-track arbitrations are concerned. These fast-track arbitrations are single-person arbitrations. They are within a defined time that the arbitration is to get over. And the object of that arbitration is, in order to expedite the arbitration, cut down the cost, and therefore incentivize people from arbitrating in India rather than otherwise. Because otherwise the consequences have been that if the choice of both procedural and substantive law is foreign in relation to economic activity taking place in India, the seat of the arbitration is foreign, obviously the cost on the contracting parties in a developing economy would itself become unaffordable. And that has been an experience in the past. And bearing that experience in the past, even the bilateral investment treaties, model draft which has been prepared by the government of India, I think recognizes these factors within the text of the draft treaty which has been prepared. So in a nutshell, our object really is that India does become an important arbitral center as an economy which is attracting investment, which is a fast-growing economy. Disputes in relation with that economy should take place in India. And if a country like India has an extremely independent and a powerful judiciary, there is no reason why we can't have a very independent and a robust arbitral mechanism in India. Change always comes as a result of the experiences that we have. And on basis of our experience of the 96 law, and particularly some judgments which had come with regard to enlarged judicial intervention in that, I think we've intervened, we've changed, and some of the recent pronouncements of the court, which the president of the ICC just now quoted, themselves bear testimony to the fact that our own judicial and quasi-judicial system has shown maturity, which may go a long way in making India an important arbitral center. Thank you.
Well, that was the finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, speaking at the Global Arbitration Meet, which is being held in New Delhi under the organized, in fact, by Niti Aayog. And let's